Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we're going to be talking about quite an interesting, bizarre, ridiculous, and at the same time hilarious story coming out about Ana de Armas and about how she was cut from the film yesterday. And now there is a class action lawsuit against Universal for false advertising. Now, this lawsuit, to me, opens up an entire can of worms, especially if the lawsuit is actually allowed to continue and what the result of said lawsuit might be. We'll, of course, have to wait and see exactly what happens with this, but I saw this story reported over at Bounding Into Comics, and I know that this is something that had been talked about in previous days and previous weeks happening. I just find it freaking hilarious, though, and there's just so many layers to this that I think we need to go over. So before we go any further, though, please make sure you smash the like button, light up that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with that bell notification turned on. That way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel. So the basic premise of this is that Ana de Armas, who is actually a very talented actress. She was, of course, got her kind of big break as far as getting to be known by a wide variety of American audiences in the film Knives Out. Even though the film was not that great, she was pretty great in it. She was really the only great part of No Time to Die, the latest James Bond film, and I asked a lot of questions as to why she wasn't the male, or rather, why she wasn't the female lead in the film opposite of Daniel Craig, because she had so much more charisma than the alternative. And that's why I'm kind of both understanding but then also confused about the logic behind the people filing this lawsuit. But man, oh man, this is interesting. Let's go ahead and dive into it. It says, Universal sued for false advertising over Ana de Armas' cut appearance in the Beatles-inspired rom-com yesterday. Film I actually liked quite a bit. It was a fun little rom-com. If you like rom-coms, then I think that you, in general, would be a fan of this film. It says, new class action. That's right. New class action lawsuit filed against Universal Pictures claims the studio engaged in false advertising by featuring No Time to Die actress Ana de Armas in the trailer for the Beatles-inspired romantic comedy yesterday, despite ultimately cutting her from the theatrical release of the film. Now, one of the things that I find quite interesting about this is that the film came out in 2019, and yet this new class action lawsuit is just being filed. Maybe they'll give more details into this. It says, filed on January 21st, so of this year, Connor Wolf and Peter Michael Rosa, oh boy, 38 and 44-year-old, with the U.S. District Court of Central California. The lawsuit asserts that Universal's nationwide advertising and promotion of the movie yesterday was intentionally deceptive because it appeared to indicate, quote, to prospective movie viewers that the world-famous actress Ana de Armas was a substantial character role in the film, end quote, only for audiences to ultimately discover that the film fails to include any appearance of Ana de Armas whatsoever. Okay, couple of things there. I didn't know and even know who she was until the film Knives Out came out. So maybe I'm ignorant of a show or a movie that she's in that would actually make her a world famous actress. Again, I think that she's incredibly talented. But to put the title of world famous next to her, I think is, again, a bit of a stretch, seeing that she really hasn't come onto the scene, at least in North America, up until very recently. Unless, again, please let me know if there's a show or a movie that I'm leaving out here. Again, Knives Out was, to my knowledge, the kind of breakout role for her as an actress. And then, of course, you had her in No Time to Die, where she should have gotten a lot more screen time. It goes on to say, accordingly, defendants' advertising and promotion of the movies yesterday is false, misleading, and deceptive. Now, that's what I find most interesting about this entire case, is that a studio is being filmed for having a misleading, false, and deceptive advertising campaign. If this case actually were to play out, if this case were to actually hold any water, does this mean that we, the fandom menace or fandom menace associated peoples, could we in the fellowship, could we come together and file a class action lawsuit against Disney for deceptive practices for The Last Jedi, claiming and promoting it as a Star Wars film when it was anything but a Star Wars film? Oh, the implications. The implications. It brings a tear to my eye just to think about the potential ramifications for this, as obviously the only true remedy that could be given in a court of law in that case, if we were to bring that case forward, which of course again, this whole thing's ridiculous, would be that they would have to give up the rights of Star Wars to either George Lucas or to us, the fans, which would just be the only correct course of action. Goes on. Plaintiffs bring this action individually and on behalf of all other similarly situated consumers to halt the dissemination of defendants' false, deceptive, and misleading representations, to correct the false, deceptive, and misleading perception defendants' representations have created in the minds of consumers, and to obtain redress for those who have purchased, rented, licensed, or otherwise paid for attending showings of the movie yesterday, states the lawsuit. Oh man, imagine if we could do that for The Last Jedi. Imagine. Or Captain Marvel. Oh man, imagine if we could do that. In fact, there's a song called Imagine that is very relevant to the movie that we're talking about right now. Gosh, this is so ridiculous. Anyway, it says, according to the pair, who each claim to have been persuaded to rent yesterday for $3.99. Oh my goodness, $3.99. So when they bring this court case forward, their damages are going to be, oh man, we spent $3.99. What are our damages? $4. Personally, if I were the studio, I would say, okay, that's your damages. And obviously, they're probably going to claim more than that. Like, we were just so hurt. We were just so hurt when Ana de Armas was not in the movie because she's a huge superstar and we were deceived. I would, if I were the studio, say, hey, here's your $4 back in settlement. Now, again, that would, of course, form its own bit of a problem because then people could sue studios left and right and try and get their money back if they didn't like it. Oh, man. Again, could you imagine? A huge portion of the people that actually saw The Last Jedi said, we want our money back. And that actually held up in a court of law, or Disney actually were to pay that. That'd be interesting. But anyway, it goes on. From Amazon, based on the assumption that De Armas would appear in the film, the fact that she made no appearance whatsoever inflicted, oh man, quote, injury in fact and lost money upon their persons. Dear Lord. What a bunch of betas. If not for the defendant's false or misleading representations and deceptions promoting the movie, plaintiffs would not have paid to view the movie yesterday. That's sad because the film's actually pretty good. The film's actually pretty fun. As explained in the lawsuit, Miss De Armas was originally cast a co-star in the film yesterday as a character named Roxanne. Accordingly, scenes featuring Miss De Armas as the character Roxanne were shot for inclusion in the original version of the movie. Again, having seen the film, I don't see where that character really would have fit in. So to say that she would be a co-star, I think is a bit of a stretch. Seems like she's probably more of just a supporting character at best. And in fact, the fact that, in the scenes that they're showing here, she's just being shown on a late night show. I don't know. Let's go ahead and see what their further argument is in this completely ridiculous and frivolous lawsuit. In the original version of the movie, the character Roxanne was written as a known actress that meets the protagonist, Malik, during the late night talk show appearance. It elaborates. During the talk show appearance, the host first suggests that Malik write a song about Roxanne. Immediately revising his song writing request, the talk show host subsequently tells Malik to write a song about something. Malik in replies plays the Beatles song Something, seated next to and gazing at Roxanne. As the scene appears in the movie trailer for yesterday, a romantic attraction is immediately sparked between the two characters, the lawsuit asserts. The film's female lead, Ellie, played by the relatively unknown actress Lily James, witnesses the meeting on television from home, the lawsuit adds. In the scene as it appears in the yesterday, Ellie is visibly upset that she might lose Malik to Roxanne. Oh my goodness. So this lawsuit claims Ana de Armas is this world-renowned film star, whereas Lily James is relatively unknown. You see, for me, they're both kind of on the same level. I know about Lily James a lot more. She was back in 2015 Cinderella. She was Cinderella. A lot more name recognition. As I said, really, Ana de Armas, as far as North American audiences are concerned, Knives Out? Wasn't that her breakout? Again, am I missing something here? Wolf and Rosa further claim that because Universal was unable to rely on fame of the actors playing Jack Malik or Ellie to maximize ticket and movie sales and rentals, defendant consequently used Miss De Armas's fame, radiance, and brilliance. Stunning and brave. Oh, they're using the stunning and brave argument. fame, radiance, and brilliance to promote the film by including her scenes in the movie trailers. Miss de Armas, in contrast to the actors playing Jack, Malik, or Ellie, is famous and is a viewership draw by herself. Despite knowing that Miss de Armas was not in the released version of the movie yesterday, defendant has consistently promoted Miss de Armas as a character starring in the film by including her scenes in the yesterday's movie trailers. And again, I'm pretty sure this is the only time that the character is supposed to appear. How? The pair are seeking restitution from Universal of at least $5 million. The undertaking of a corrective advertising campaign and damages and attorney's fees for all affected moviegoers. Oh, this is so great. At the time of writing, Universal has not commented on Wolf and Rose's lawsuit. Why would they? This is so ridiculous. This is stupidity. Do you think the two plaintiffs have a case? No. I mean, this is just, again, I understand where they're coming from. You know, you're upset. You're upset because you thought someone was going to be in a film and they weren't. Guess what? This happens all the time. There are countless. This would be like saying, hey, I went to go see this movie because there was this one scene and this one shot in the trailer that I really liked. And then in the editing room floor, it got cut and it wasn't in the movie at all. This happens all the time. But now you've got these two betas who are trying to get $5 million plus attorney's fees, plus restitution for anyone who bought the film and were upset by the fact that Ana de Armas, big-time superstar, and again, I am a fan of Ana de Armas's work. I think that she's very talented, but it's just so funny to me that they're triggered because and their argument is based on the fact that they think yesterday used her as a draw for the film. And yet there's only two of them attached to the lawsuit. I'm not saying that there might not be other people who may not want to jump in on this, but I mean, come on, guys. There is a better argument to be made. And this lawsuit, this proposed lawsuit that I'm about to bring up, wouldn't even hold water in court. There is more reason and justification for Star Wars types, for Star Wars fans to bring a lawsuit against Disney for deceptive practices, especially against Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi, than this right here. There's more reasoning, more damages that can really be honestly said and proven than by this. And as I said, those damages and things could not really even be proven in a court of law. This is a frivolous lawsuit, and man, oh man, I hope that whatever happens with this, if they ever even get to see a judge, the judge just laughs in their face and says, what the hell are you two doing? And also, it's kind of sad because when you think about it, these two people are probably spending, they mentioned attorney's fees. They are spending money on this. In fact, I would say there should probably be some type of backlash against the attorneys representing them as well. Like, I mean, not backlash. What I mean is that there should be some type of penalty against them because they're taking this case knowing how ridiculous it is. It's like they're taking their money. Now, I guess one could argue saying, yeah, well, it's their job. And, if this is what they want to do with their money, right? If they want to take the money to try and sue Universal and think they're going to get any type of damages or any type of relief from this, it's their right to do it. I guess you can say that. But I feel like any attorney that's actually good or moral, which again, I know might be a dime a dozen, would look at this case and say, this is ridiculous. Anyway, I saw this story and I was just like, okay, I got to actually find out what is in this lawsuit. I actually got to read this article. Shout out to Censor Bakuli over at Bound into Comics for finding this for me because, oh my goodness, this is the world we live in, everybody. Ana de Armas, world-renowned, world-known actress. Lily James, complete unknown actress. The only way they sold this film was because of the one scene in the trailer featuring... This is stupid. Anyway, couple of takeaways, though. Ana de Armas is a very talented actress, and I'd recommend not watching No Time to Die because it's a long waste of your time. However, I would say at least watch the scenes with her in it because those are actually fun, entertaining because she bleeds charisma. I would also say that she's worth seeing just in a lot of the other films that she has done. Knives Out I don't think is that great of a film, but I think that she does a great job in it. And then I would also say watch Yesterday, right? That'd be the other takeaway is that Yesterday is actually a good film. And actually, I would say watch it just in spite of these two betas who are suing Universal for this. Ah, my gosh. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I hope that hopefully you got a laugh out of this morning as much as I have. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that they're right? Do you think that they're right? Do you think that these two betas that they should receive the $5 million in damages done to them because their precious Ana de Armas was not in the movie, as the trailer indicated? And do you think that we should all sue movie studios all the time for characters that not being in films, or movies not turning out the way that we want them to, or for trailers having scenes that end up getting cut from the film because of time or for whatever reasons that movie studios do those things? Let me know your thoughts about any of that stuff in the comment section down below. If you like this video, smash that like button, slap that fire button on Odyssey. A shout out to Mondo Spieler, Jonathan, and also to Ari Hymason as well, for being latest Patreon members. We are about to enter into the month of February, so there will be an updated February video in the next couple days as things get processed over on Patreon, etc. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my January Patreon Subscribe Star and Locals members. Starting first off with Locals, shout out to Kara Tharp, UAB Mad Dog, Mike Jackson, Biffer DeHobbit, and Robert Barnes. Thank you all very much for supporting me over on the Locals platform. Also a shout out to my Subscribe Star people, UAB Mad Dog, Mike Jackson once again, Storm Tracker, The R, Fast Reaction, Nosferatu Gatsu, Stan 4, John B, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod the Beer Guru, and ZK Man. Thank you all very much for supporting me over on the Subscribe Star platform. And lastly, to my Patreon supporters, my 30 Patreon supporters over there: animation commentator Brandon, let's go Brandon, Brian P, Christopher Bowman, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Hannibal Grimm, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Gomer Kyle 79, Lance, Laura, the Modern Major General Story, Mike Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mondo Spieler, Mr. Peabody, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Priscilla Hall, Rosetta Ellen, Stan Andrian, Miss Martin Muses, Theodore Benden, and Tina Bojan, and of course, Tina B, the Empress of the Universe. Thank you all so very much for your love and for your support. And if you want your name shouted out at the end of every live stream and at the end of every video, please make sure that you support me over on a Patreon Subscribe Star or on Locals. Also, you get a ton of other goodies if you support at the Army of Asgard level and above. Starting at the Army of Asgard level, you get access to various giveaways that I do during the month, including various 4K titles. Many of them 4K Steelbook titles, and so if you want access to that, check out the Army of Asgard level on those platforms specifically. You also get access, once you are a Keeper of the Bifrost level member, to that, plus a podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where you actually get to ask us questions, and also, of course, get access to that and the library of previous podcast episodes. We're up to about 33 episodes now that we have been able to do. I think most of those episodes now at this point we've actually done it together, which has been a lot of fun. And of course, you can join at the Chosen of Valhalla live stream, Chosen of Valhalla live stream level, where you get access to not only all of those things, but also you get access to be featured on the channel once a month during the Chosen of Valhalla live stream with the other Chosen members, which is always a lot of fun. Also, during your first month, you get a free t-shirt sent anywhere in the world. You just let me know your size. Let me know the t-shirt that you want from the store over on Teespring or on TeePublic, whichever you prefer, and I will gladly send that out to you if you're at that level. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, God bless.